Thank you for tuning into this episode of Pure Food for Thought. I'm Phoebe, and I'm here at a very special destination in Lancaster. It's not hard to find. You're right off of Route 30, and it's easy to get to from Berks County. And if you've never heard of it, I'm at Upohar. Did I pronounce that correctly?
That's right, Upohar.
And I'm with Sri, the owner. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Good. If you've never been here before, it's a wonderful experience to taste the different flavors from across the world. And there's something very special that you've created here. But I'm very curious to know, before we get into it, if there's something that people can learn from your story or your journey, because you've had many, what would it be that people could take away?
That if you love something, you really, really want to make it happen, that somehow, somewhere along the way, you figure it out. Because I have no background in restaurant and food, but I love food and I collect recipes, and I've always wanted to have a restaurant, even though I have no background. And I wanted to bring it all together and into a meaningful business. And I didn't know how. So the technical details, I did not know how to do it. But I started with, well, I really want to do it. And other people have done it, so somehow I'll figure it out. And look at what happened.
So you don't have to have all of the answers.
No, you do not have to have all of the answers. You just need to know what you want and why you want it. And
so the what you want came from, were you always a cook at home? Like, did your mom put you on the stool and have you working next to her in the kitchen?
No, I did not know how to cook until I graduated from college and discovered I could not feed myself. Because all I knew to make was toast and eggs for breakfast. So I did not know how to cook, and so I learned how to cook after I graduated from college.
Okay. And how did you learn? Did you just pick up a recipe book, or?
No, I went to my friend and I said, help! I can't eat my own cooking.
That's bad news.
Yeah. So that's how I started learning how to cook. And my friend was, I'm sure she still is, vegetarian. So she taught me all of her, she's from India. And so she taught me her family recipes. And that's how I got into trying new kinds of cooking, new kinds of food, and that's how it all started.
So you were lucky enough to find someone who could teach you family recipes instead of opening up a cookbook and kind of struggling through that.
Yeah.
But your degree is very different than your work now.
Yes.
Your degree is in?
My degree is in computer science and studio art. So for most of my career, I was in the software industry in various management positions. So I knew how to run a business from that experience.
Right.
So I know how to do software product development and product launch and marketing and strategic alliance development. And
so how do you jump into the why of doing what you do now?
So So I was, like I said, in the software industry for most of my career. Well, now it's coming to the halfway point. And during the dot-com bubble boom burst time, I had to pause and say, what am I doing, and what's the meaning of this? Is this really what I want to look back and say, I created this product or I launched this product? And so that's the point when I really started thinking about, what do I really want to do? What do I want to leave behind? And it's been a long journey. And what came out of it was that I want to do something using my skills in management, using my interests in food and cooking, and making a positive impact in the community in which I live. And so this is how it all came together.
So legacy is important to you.
Legacy is important, as well as during my time here, that I'm doing something that's useful, that's relevant.
Where do you find your inspiration? Where did you find your inspiration to merge that desire to leave an impact, a positive impact, and to somehow, why food?
Yeah, yeah. So interesting, inspiration comes from unexpected sources. So inspiration for this business comes from 2 or 3 different sources, but the spark was Muhammad Yunus. He spoke at the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce annual dinner way back in 2008, and we had just moved to Lancaster, and I wrangled my way to see him speak because I knew of his work as a Nobel Peace Prize winner and the founder of microfinance. But what he spoke about was the concept of a social enterprise, a social impact business, taking the for-profit business model and using it to make a difference.
Right.
And I was just fascinated with the idea. I was like, oh my gosh, there is something here for me. I don't know what it is, but there is something. And so it took me a couple of years to actually read his book because I wanted to find out what he did with this concept, how he used it. And I ended up with food because I wanted it to be very micro, as in whatever business it was had to have an impact where I lived, not across the world somewhere else.
Okay.
Which I was already doing. I donate money to various organizations and causes, and that's all well. But what am I doing in my neighborhood?
Right.
And so from his concept and his the way he described what other people were doing, and I looked at Lancaster and said, okay, what is the need here and where can I add value? One day, I cannot tell you the thought process, but one day magically it just clicked. It's like, there's food. I love food. There are people who, refugees who come into the community. We settle in Lancaster, 600 people about every year. They have skills, but they don't have English language skills.
Right.
And so what can they do without knowing how to speak English and earn money?
Right.
What do I love? What can I do? And it just really, literally fell into place.
Do you know some people struggle so hard to find like what their meaning of why are they here? What is my purpose? So you're saying that if you're just, it sounds like you were kind of open. First you were open-minded, right? And thinking, there's something more that I want to do. And when you're open and receptive and you put yourself in a position of learning and listening, that it kind of all came together for you, right?
Yes.
You knew you loved food.
Yes.
You knew you wanted to make an impact and leave a legacy, but you knew you wanted to do it locally. And then going to hear him speak made it more personal, I guess, for you.
Yeah.
Or kind of like opened a path.
So what you're saying is, so another way of saying it is when you're open to possibilities,
Right.
then opportunities present themselves.
Exactly.
This is the complete opposite of software development, where
Right.
or most businesses where you have a goal.
Yes.
You set a goal, you have a plan, and you're on the path, and you're driving to it.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I learned during when I first started questioning what am I doing and is it really meaningful and relevant, I went through a coach certification program.
Yeah.
And at that program, my development, the book that was given to me was Composing a Life by Mary Catherine Bateson.
Okay.
And the point was, all your life you've been so linear, goal-driven, but life isn't like that.
Right.
So how about an alternate approach where you compose your life based on what's available, much like cooking.
Right.
What ingredients do I have? How do I put it together? And life is like that. And what if you're open to life and you look back and see the tapestry that you've woven? Going forward, you don't know, but you know that you can put something together. And that has been amazing. It was very hard. In the beginning, I was like, what do you mean not set a goal?
Yes,
Yeah?
right. Because that's what you're taught to do, like academically. And even socially, to define exactly what you want and go after it like mad.
Yeah, and that's what business plan, you set a goal, you have a plan, you have a strategy. What do you mean compose and improvise?
I think that's really powerful for women or even men in business then, to think not to rush things, and to be open and flexible to change. When I first met you, it was at the farmer's market, the Lidditz farmer's market, and you were selling, I remember the samosas because I bought them, and I think I could probably go back and find the old picture, and I remember reading like your purpose and your mission behind what you did. It was very clear. But to see you gradually like grow and like move into and evolve into this location is pretty amazing. And to hear that you did it without the burden or stress of letting something else define what it was supposed to be, that you followed kind of your passion, is pretty amazing.
Yeah, did I know when I met you at the Lidditz Farmers Market that one day I would have a restaurant?
Yeah, who would have guessed?
That was completely not in the horizon at all.
So it's okay to it's okay to adapt, especially women in their 30s, in their 40s, and in their 50s. It's okay to adapt and change and modify to make things work for you.
It's to compose, it's to pay attention to opportunities, it's to follow your gut. Your gut tells you what's working, what's not, and to say, I'm going to put all of these pieces together and see what emerges. What am I being called to do? And have every day is a leap of faith.
So who knows where the next 10 years will take you?
Who knows?
I think it's wonderful. So follow your gut, compose your life.
Pay attention to what is. That's how you compose it, with what is, not what you hope will be or what was or what you want. It's take the reality and put it together.
I think that's so powerful. I think that's so wonderful, and it's really easy. It's really easy. So I wish you much success today. And I'm so curious to know where you're going to go or what your legacy will be. And thank you for doing what you do, especially for women in the community, for building their esteem and building family. I think it's a wonderful thing. So
thank you.
And what a wonderful lesson to learn. I would have never expected that. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And how do people find you?
We are on the web, upoharethiccuisines.com.
Okay, and we'll put the link up on the website for that
address. We are on Facebook, and we have directions, phone number, email. So get on our mailing list so you know what's coming up in terms of events or new menus or.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll find the website, the Facebook page, and get onto the newsletter list to find out events. And you do catering as well.
Yes, we do catering as well.
Yes.
So if you cannot make it here, we will come to you.
Yes, I like that. Great. So make sure you find the link. We'll put it on the website for ease. And find the website, stop by the restaurant, and be sure to follow the Facebook page as well for updates. So thank you so much again. This was so much fun. And be sure to subscribe to Pure Food for Thought. And thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye.
Want to know more about who's doing what in Berks County? Check out the stories on thepeoplechronicles.com.
These community stories are made possible in part by BCTV, Susie Ray Design, Queen City Family Restaurant, Lamar Advertising, Heidelberg Family Restaurant, Reading Air, Lions and Hole, Peanut Bar, and Kutztown University.